you're better off elsewhere tonight. Grab your pitchforks and start your fire. Grab your loved ones and run for your lives. There's a witch among us and she must be found before she burns this whole place to the ground. Away, just stay out of the woods, 'cause she's up to no good unless you're prepared for a fight. 'Cause the witch has the power and is witching hours, so you're better off elsewhere tonight.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Off the Grill podcast. I just dropped the mouse off my lap. So naturally, we're doing swell. Glad to be back here with you folks again this week. And I've recently had a lobotomy, so everything sound good out there? Everything look good out there? I hope so. I sure fucking do. But I can never be sure. I can never be sure. And I can never just have things where I want them. Nope. That would be far too fucking simple. I didn't even say it is. This fucking cock-sucking piece of shit. Oh, boy. Anyway, let's see who's hanging out here. We got Jess from Cable Channel 11. Shout out. Oh, and he also goes, hello. No, that's wrong. Hello. There we go. And yes, we are in a different location this week. The 10-year-old is on fucking spring break this week, so he's still awake. Hopefully not for too much longer for his sake. So I'm up here, they're down there, and we're watching Deadpool versus Wolverine. To the gentleman that's responsible for that, and it is someone that is currently here watching, they say thank you. I say fuck you. But only a little bit. I still love you. Oh, we got Faticus Finch in the house. He says, hi, sauce. It's good to see you, Faticus. Hope you've landed on your gout-stricken feet. Dan Shines in the chat. Good to see you. Dan, I have not seen Small Engine Repair yet. I don't think I threw it in my letterbox, so I don't know that I would ever get a chance for it to come back up on me again. Who the fuck watched that Andrew Schultz shit? Oh, that's fucking broad. I don't know. Someone on Letterboxd. She gave it a 2-star, which is, at least in the range of where it should be. Small. You fat faggot. Learn how to type. I'm trying not to say that so much. It's just kind of become gay. Small engine repair. John Bernthal, huh? Oh, Shea Wiggum. Fucking A. Is it Wiggum or is it Wiggum? Like Ralph and Clancy. Oh, that is actually interesting, though. So I'll have to steal it from somewhere. That's fine enough, I guess. All right. Well, now I have it here, which is different than what I had before, which was nothing, because I'm an asshole. So maybe by next week I'll have seen it, Dan. Who knows? Oh yeah, Gypsy. We got demon babies. There's also this one, but this one doesn't really fit anywhere. This is a nope, this way, stupid. Oh, soulless. Brain-eating baby. They don't like to stay. This one's fine. This one's a fucking asshole. It moves a lot. I bet now it's going to fall down. I don't know. Oh, Billy Bean in the house. He got the alert. Good to see you, Gypsy, by the way. Good to see you, Billy. Glad you got the alert. Glad you're here with us. Someone tag Zombie somewhere. I don't know where. I don't know. If you're able to, someone go into my community thing and tag Zombie. I can't remember his numbers. XOMBIE something or other. Because he says actively he's the only one saying that he is not getting the alerts. But Billy now mentioning that has made me think about it. I don't know. Faticus says, I have actually. I'm now a stunt double for Paul Heyman, hired to take all of his bumps going forward. I guess that would explain why he got fucking pie face tonight. Because, hey, for the first time in a while, I actually watched Raw live. Most of it was on a little bit of a delay, but we did catch up on the commercials. You know what's fucking sick? If you start that from the beginning, if they're like 40 minutes or in or so, they will just fucking pull the commercials out for you. You don't have to like fast forward through them. I dig that. Oh, Dan says that Small Engine Repair is the same writer as Riff Raff. I like Riff Raff a lot. It's one of my favorites of 25 so far. The Wiggum. But I don't know. I think that would imply Wiggum like Clancy and Ralph, but I don't know. Oh, Gypsy. Zombie should be here somewhere. But yeah, because he was commenting on I don't know what do you call it? You get the live chat and then just like the static comments, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, Dan's noticed that with the ads. Billy got the half-hour warning, which I didn't get either last week. That's hey. So long as it's back now. What's this look like? Oof. Hold on. Talking to my producer. Oh, I don't want to pick a new fucking version. This is the one I want. Great. Thanks. I hate you so much. This is fucking frustrating. This is garbage. Yeah, I don't know. Dan says he tagged Zombie on the Flesh Wound Features disc. Oh, that's a smart play. See this fucking thing? It's coming after me. Maybe I should just leave it here. Stupid face into my shoulder. Maybe it'll suffocate. Babies are stupid. Yeah, hopefully he'll pop on with us. How are we doing? What are we thinking? We're going to do not a little. This whole show is really just going to be fucking big time WrestleMania breakdown. Figure we'll sit here and do it, yap about it. It's an interesting year. I don't know. I feel like I have a lot more opinion on this year than last year, the year before, even though I did like both those events a lot. I think I was just kind of happy with what they were shitting out. So, yeah, this like we were talking a little bit about towards the end of last week's episode. The build has been just so much more lackluster and just drawn out with very little happening. Like this whole build is just like the equivalent. Fuck this baby. Don't clip that. Ooh. It's like a movie that's like a half hour too long. They didn't really. They might have had like a nice 1 hour TV show, or like, hey, if what was I saying? Oh, we got like a really good premise for an X-Files episode, or something similar, whatever. But we're gonna make it a movie. We're gonna make a 90-minute feature. We get about 40 minutes worth of fucking material, and that's not really a recipe for success as far as excitement goes. So we'll get there. Where are we at? What do we got? Some people yapping about Mania. Dan, I have your comment at the top starred. Don't worry. But he does say the women's IC and US titles should have had spots on the card. Yeah. I don't disagree with that. Just this whole fucking card is weird. And I don't necessarily think the card should just be all the titles have to be in matches. They all have to be on the line. I like Chelsea Green. There's no reason for her to have a nice U.S. women's title match or women's U.S. title match on the fucking main show. Again, if we got to have a pre-show something or other, that's one thing. God, my hand is all fucked. I guess this is fine so long as I don't mute myself or turn the colors on. Yeah, like Chelsea Green has no real feud. Really, there's Zelina Vega a little bit, but they fucked around. They didn't build a feud. Like there's nothing there. There's like the very beginnings of a feud, the opening moments of germination, I guess. And I fucking hate Lyra Valkyria. I think she's fucking boring. I don't care about her in the ring, on the mic. She's stupid looking. I caw when she's on screen, and I guess that's a little bit of fun, but I'm doing all the work there, not her. I think that, I'll just honestly, I don't give a shit about that fucking women's tag title match. I really don't. Like Dan says, I love Lyra, but I don't. But her teaming with Bailey is completely random. Yeah, it's random, and it really does feel like Bailey is just going to turn on her when they lose the match, because of course they're losing. What point is there for her and Bailey to have the belts when like Liv and Raquel are one of the closest things to an actual tag team in that division? Yeah, I don't know. So like that is one I agree. I probably care the least about this match. I like Bailey. I've learned to like Liv. She's won me over in the last year. She's done a lot of great character work. Whatever in the ring, to me, the ring shit is almost always secondary to the character stuff. Raquel's whatever, I don't give much of a shit about her either, but again, that's a tag team, not just two people thrown together. It's a TV match, so if Ben Grimm is right and they've moved the tag title match to SmackDown, that's the right move. because I think then that balances out to 6 matches on each night instead of 6 and 7. Yeah. And Faticus Finch says, I found it funny Rollins called the night 1 main event the biggest triple threat match in the history of WrestleMania when there's no title on the line. Dan says, Liv and Raquel have delivered some great matches lately. Yeah. Dan says 13 announced, but a Randy Orton match would make 14. I mean, do we need to have one? Like, I don't know. Well, I guess, fuck, that's another one. I didn't really have anything written down about that. I guess I had Randy Orton coming out in a different match just to get him on the fucking show, which seems to be what this Mania's MO is just get everyone at payday. Just fucking WrestleMania 2000 all over again. You know, one of the best WrestleManias ever. Like, seriously. Is there a single one-on-one contest on that show? There's got to be, but I can't think of what it would be. Not offhand anyway. It's probably a bigger one too, and I'm gonna feel fucking stupid in a minute. But Ben says they need a third day to get all the matches on. Dan likes the matches they've had lately. A women's triple. That's my favorite. Ooh, Ben, I'll hold on to that one. That'll be a good one to end on, I think. Dan says Orton losing to a returning Rusev. Fuck off, Dan. Rusev. Sorry, I'll read it. Orton losing to a returning Rusev is a good way to reestablish him on the main roster. I don't give a shit about Rusev or Aleister Black. Like, those are two guys that, like, I don't care about Aleister Black. I don't care about fucking Malachi Black, Malachi Storm, whatever the fuck his name is, Tommy End from Dusseldorf. I don't give a fuck. Look, I've got a milky eye and I'm from the Deutschland. Fucking Icelandic douchebag. Go fuck yourself. Your spooky black metal. So yeah, either one of those guys coming back to beat Orton is fucking like supreme levels of gay. And if it happens, Dan, you're going to have hell to pay. But I'll save that comment because I do have Fair's Fair. I'm going to Faticus. This is just plain wrong. Hardcore Holly, I think, pinned Crash, but it was I can't remember the name. It was like it was a 30-minute challenge match. They used to have them on like the first 2 SmackDown games for the PlayStation, where it was like whoever had it's very similar to the championship scramble, actually, for a little more recent concept. About 8 years difference, but you know, hey, it's fine. But yeah, it was like fucking like Viscera was in it, I think. The Mean Street Posse. It was just a bunch of those hardcore division guys fucking around. Taz was in it. And then Terry Runnels and the Cat don't fucking count. Because, like, that's not women's wrestling. That's fucking piss break or I gotta remember this to jack off to later. I don't know. I already yelled about that one. Save that one there. All right, so I guess we'll just fucking get on with it. I got most of you guys read up. So Dan's first thing here, which we'll get into, I guess, before I start this out right. He says he thinks his main issue with Mania lineup this year is the undercard being a bit thrown together randomly. Yeah, that seems to be a theme, at least a little bit. Overall, I think it's going to be a great show. I do agree with that as well. And they definitely could have planned it better. But as far as like the women's U.S. title, honestly, I'd have Chelsea come out and complain and do a surprise return of Becky or Paige. Like, it's not a bad idea, but like if you're doing that there and then you're also going to do the fucking Rusev thing, it doesn't make, you can't do two of those in one show. It's dumb. Even if it's on different nights, it's the same fucking thing. It's lazy. The Cornette say lazy booking. But yeah, I don't know. Like Becky would be cool. I don't give a shit about Paige. Paige can't fucking wrestle. She's hurt. Tony Khan just didn't give a fuck and fucking paid someone to say, yeah, she's fine. You can't hear that fucking blowing, can you? Someone tell me. Ooh, what's going on there, Brian? Good to see you, Brian Trash. Where are we at? Yeah, I don't know. That's not a bad idea. Like with Becky Lynch, like I said, I would enjoy that one for sure. Ooh, Faticus. I'm gonna keep a hold of that one. Because Fatty did try to do a little prep this week. He just got behind on it. Didn't get to finish. So that little piece of commentary will be beneficial to me, my friend. All right. Guess we'll get this out of the way too, because it's another thing that I kind of fucked up with. But Dan says the SmackDown tag titles with the Street Profits and Motor City Machine Guns are on SmackDown. New Day versus War Raiders made the main card. So a lot of that's kind of fucked up. Because I like the Street Profits. I like them a lot. I like just that kind of edginess that they're bringing now after being fucked over by all of the other tag teams. I like that they have the belts again. I think fucking Montez Ford is great, and D'Angelo Dawkins are. Yeah, that's him. That's not the fat faggot left tackle. I guess I'm not done with that word, am I? And to be fair, I don't want to get rid of it. I just want to pull back on the usage of it because I don't know. It feels like a whole lot of Kill Tony fans are using it as a fucking punchline, and that's kind of gay to me. And Kill Tony fan types, you know. But yeah, I was excited to see the Motor City Machine Guns, but they're still dressing like it's 2006 and they look 55 years old. It's kind of lame. So I don't really care about the matchup. I just hope the Street Profits win. And I think it's right where it belongs, not on a Mania card. I think if a multi-man or a multi-team match would have been more interesting. You still, I don't think it would have raised it to the level of Mania pay-per-view, PLE, whatever. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you guys feel differently. Like, I don't dislike the Motor City Machine Guns. They're still cool to watch. Also, their fucking music sucks. Raise your fist. Fist my ass. Shove it in. And whip it into shape. Okay. That's enough. That is enough. Oh, boy. What else can we scratch off here? That one's got to wait. That one's got to wait. They all got to wait. So, I mean, let's start off with probably out of the main events, my favorite of the two. There's only two. The one that I think I prefer and I'm more interested in. Probably solely because they've done more and there's a longer. There you go, Brian. You got it. There's a longer kind of backstory and history to it. It's obviously week one, night one's main event: Roman Reigns versus CM Punk versus Seth Rollins. So I think in the last few weeks, especially since they've revealed what the favor actually is, you know, that's really heated the rivalry up. It's really made it kind of go. So like I've liked all that. You know, there's so much history, recent history with Punk and Rollins, in which I mean, you know, even all of that shit goes back to when Punk was out of the business. Um, you know, Rollins and Reigns have history going back to 2012. You know, and honestly, even back in FCW, I think they were fucking locking horns a little bit here and there. I think at that point, you know, Seth Rollins was probably a league above Reigns, but that gap got closed over time. And then I think the most recent bit of lore, you know, is Punk and Reigns' whole thing, you know, with fucking War Games 24 and all that shit. So, like, there's a lot of interesting stuff there, and it's fun to kind of see the back and forth. But really, what this is it's 3 different singles feuds mashed into one because they didn't have a choice to do anything else, or I don't know if plans changed or like what the actuality of the telling of events was, but you know, being like that being said, it's still interesting. It's still a lot of fun. Fucking, you know, Reigns falsely believing that the favor was just to have the main event, not that you know Heyman was going to be in Punk's corner, and then like fucking last Monday when Rollins didn't stomp Heyman's fucking face into the ground, that was interesting. Like now you owe me. Like that's fucking cool because now like they're even kind of hinting at the fact that like Heyman's leaving with Rollins on Saturday, and maybe that's a little too big of a red herring. You know, like they're doing that on purpose. It's yeah, boy, it couldn't be Rollins, could it? I bet it's gonna be, and then it's not. You know, it's kind of it's hard to get a full read on that, and that's a good thing, I think. Like it does feel forced, you know, and like the whole idea, like when it was just that's my favorite. I want a main event. That fucking it was so deflating because it's so much more worthy. You know, or Punk is more worthy of like getting a main event that's earned, and a little bit like retroactively they did go and earn it for him. But, you know, I don't know. I think end of the day, this is probably the hardest one for me to call as far as who's going to win, and even with what I would do if I was in charge. Like I feel like they all win enough. Or they've all you know like Rollins has beaten. They're no Punk beat Rollins. I don't know. It's like they've all got claim and like they're all made enough that the loss doesn't really hurt. I assume there's going to be some kind of shenanigans. This just popped into my head. Maybe this would be fun. Looks like Heyman's going to turn on the two of them and shit go with Seth. But then he fucking you know kicks Seth in the balls too. Like I don't know the context or what would be kind of the revealing thing, but in my head a little bit, it's kind of that. I don't need that. Linda McMahon standing up at Mania 17 and kicking Vince in the balls. You know, but I don't know. Certainly before Saturday, we're not going to have Heyman fucking, you know, drugged up. But like something along those lines might be interesting. Where are we? Because I feel like if Punk wins, there's a good chance he goes after the World Heavyweight Champion or maybe even the WWE Champion if it's John Cena. You know, we'll get there too. I don't think we've seen Rollins and Reigns have like a legit feud yet. You know, they've had one-off matches or they've had shit with Dean Ambrose involved, but not ever like a drawn-out one-on-one thing with them. Unless I'm completely mistaken, I think they had or were supposed to have like a match around like Rumble time one year during Reigns' long title reign. Reigns. Brian says bring back Brooklyn Brawler. Dan says he thinks Heyman and Seth join up with Rock and Cena's new faction. Is there even a fucking faction, man? Like maybe Mania will be where it's kind of revealed, but it's kind of gay that The Rock just disappeared after eliminate. I almost called it No Way Out, Elimination Chamber. Dan also says he expects some surprises at this show. It'll be cool watching it with everyone. Yeah, I'm gonna be watching it alone. Might even be watching it fucking and then heading into work. I don't know. That's a whole thing. So yeah, so like a Punk kind of peeling off of the feud, maybe even after they run it back, the triple threat back at Judgment or at Backlash. I don't know if they would. Just a thought I was having earlier. You know, you can get Reigns and Rollins going. Punk can do, something else. Hopefully, great. Like I think him fucking around with the title scene for a little bit's not out of the realm of possibility. I like Punk a lot now. I think I've said it a couple times. I hated him for a while. Kind of dug the initial part of his AEW comeback thing. I think he's fucking really hitting on all cylinders. I think actually I might like this run more than his initial run. Injury and all. But I don't know. Anyone with anything? Faticus says, if I recall correctly, Rollins did challenge for Roman's title during the reign, but yeah, I believe it ended in a no contest or a DQ. It was just like they needed the guy because someone else got hurt or something. I think that feels right to me. So I'd love to get a fucking extended program with those two. Punk and Reigns needs to be a thing long term, couple match fucking series. So either way you go there, I think there's plenty of intrigue to go around. Oh, my bars. Just enjoy the silence. It's fine. I don't know. I guess we'll switch gears to the World Heavyweight Championship match with Gunther versus Jey Uso. This again, I mean, it's going to be kind of the recurring theme of this whole fucking pay-per-view, this PLE, whatever, the whole show, because Jey won the Rumble. Like, I guess they did have Gunther right away after him. Like, you don't pick me, I'll fucking make your life hell, and all that shit. Oh, Ben, this is a predictions preview, whatever the fuck kind of thing. Kind of doing, just yapping about the match a little bit. Shit I like, didn't like, yada, yada. And then, yeah, throw some predictions out, what I think they'll do, what I would do, and if it would differ or not. Faticus says Punk and Reigns can have a custody for Paul match where he's suspended above the ring, where I'm suspended above the ring in a shark cage. It'd have to be triple reinforced, my friend. Oh, because you are a fatty boom batty. Arabs and Jews. Anyway, but yeah, this hasn't been bad. The build-up's been pretty decent, and I think that Gunther and Jimmy Uso have done a pretty good job of getting it there. Dude, I really don't know what it is. Like, I don't know if that fucking Mania match just tainted them. Really, they tainted Jey because Jimmy has fought his way out of my doghouse. Jimmy has become really good where Jey has become a fucking caricature. Since that their Mania match together last year. like, and it does feel now just with the way that it's fucking like he hasn't lived up to it. He hasn't fucking grown like I thought. Um, but like I've liked Jay since that first main event Jay Uso run he did where he went against Roman back in the fucking TV screen days. It just, and I thought he was doing such great fucking character work, and like, the in-ring stuff's fine. I don't really give a fuck about it, like, we know that. But he's stuck in a rut. His fucking that match last year sucked. The IC title reign was fucking lackluster. It was literally just okay, he did it, now give it back. The Rumble wins does still seem like a fluke, and I guess that's part of the story they're telling, but again, I don't like it's clearly a fluke. And he can't win. Like, I don't believe that he can win. And that's silly to me. But yeah, end of the day, I think Gunther should win. Jay can look good. He's got the pop. The fucking fans are behind him. His music's over. His little hand thing's over. He's been over with me, but he's not now. Jay's felt like he's been on autopilot. Like, even his fiery promo after Jimmy was fucking almost murdered and Gunther got to take a beautiful warm bath in Jimmy's blood. And yeah, here we are. And really what I've talked about is how Gunther and fucking Jimmy have done well. Gunther has really done a great job of showing the mask slipping and, becoming just a petty, vindictive cocksucker, that's employing sneak attacks and shit instead of the grand champion, the kind of the spirit of Ring of Honor anyway. And Dan says, I'm not a huge fan of Jay, but he sells a ton of merch. And yeah, and I get it. It's like, I get putting him in the match. I just think like the issue is really only going to come from him winning the match, him winning the title. Gunther needs to win, and he needs to fucking win. Not convincingly. It doesn't need to be like Lesnar and Cena at SummerSlam. But good God, he's got to fucking win. It would be so sad. Oh no. Dan says that Gunther versus Goldberg chamber match will be awkward. Faticus makes it worse. He says those Gunther chops are going to gas the hell out of Goldberg. That's nasty. But yeah, I think either way, Gunther wins. I don't think there's like the title reign's been fucking built up too much. In my head, I know I'm fantasy booking and it's going to probably lead to me fucking being real disappointed. But I feel like Gunther keeps that belt until someone like Braun takes it off of him. Braun Strowman, of course. No. Braun Breaker versus Gunther for the World Heavyweight Championship smells like something that's going to happen in 2025 to me. Dan says Jay and Gunther will deliver. Faticus says, I just hope Jay isn't as awful as he was at last year's Mania. I agree with that. I agree with Dan. I think Gunther will pull out a good match out of Jay. I don't think the match will be bad, but I don't know. I just don't have enough to have any real faith in the moment, I guess, around the match. I don't know. I don't have anything else to say about this fucking thing. Because Gunther's been consistently great through it, and Jay has, because I get some of that stuff has been kind of baked into the story, like him slipping on the Prime logo or whatever logo. I hesitate to say that the fucking suicide dive was botched on purpose, but maybe. Dan, that's another good question for later. We'll move on to the next one. There's a lot of fucking matches to talk about still. Tiffany Stratton versus Charlotte Flair. We'll get the other Mania the Royal Rumble winner out of the way for the women's championship on SmackDown. It's a match, I guess. I like Tiffany Stratton for a variety of reasons. I think she's good at her work is great on the mic. She stumbles a little bit here and there. She's not like a perfect orator, but not everyone is. It's not like awful. It's not fucking late 2000s Divas era awful. I don't see the need for Charlotte Flair in any capacity anymore. Like another one that I haven't been a big like hater of. And like when they were doing the vignettes for her return at the Rumble, I was like, oh, cool, Charlotte's back. That'll be interesting. Let's see what she does. And then she walked out looking like a fucking stick bug. Like no ass, no legs, no fucking real arm definition. I guess she's like cut, abdomen wise or whatever. But there's been no fucking story to speak of. I'm the queen. You're not the queen, but you want to be. Well, I'm the champion. I don't need to be the queen. You've been divorced. Like the fucking, the little fucking, the divorce lines and all that shit. That one little face-to-face promo battle they did was good. But that's literally it. Everything else has been fucking lame, and who gives a shit? Like, just from wrestling, the WWE is a television show. Let's not pretend it's anything else. Tiffany and Charlotte is boring. There's no heat there. There's no zhuzh. There's no compulsion. The fuck do I care? I got this fucking like former gymnast that is like stacked physically. Like I mean in a bodybuilding capacity. Like she's fucking, she's not juiced to the gills, but she's thick. She's strong. She's also gorgeous. Charlotte Flair looks like fucking Skeletor. Like legit now. I think people were calling her that a couple years ago. Now it's a fact. And like you used to be able to believe it. She's big and athletic, and when she faced off with Rhea, like 2 different manias, right? Did they do back-to-back years? She looked good. She looked like a fucking athletic women's wrestler. Now she looks like a fucking scrawny broad that's, playing Liz Taylor. I don't know why we fast forwarded. I hate this fucking setup. I need to get like a hospice table to roll next to me. Hospital bed. Keep all my things right in front of me. Like I don't know. There's no fucking feud. There really isn't anything there, and like we fast forwarded through the Tiffany Nia feud for what? Nia Jax is one of the fucking most interesting shit talkers. Like one of the best shit talkers in the company last year. She's not on the fucking card. Like, why wasn't this her last ditch fucking effort? Or have Nia win the Rumble again? She's fucking hot. That bitch took my title. I'm fucking killing everyone till I get it back. That's so much more compelling. And like you still have her just be the nasty cunt. Like you don't let her get sympathy because she had the title taken off of her. I don't know. It's very silly to me for a fucking lackluster match. Lackluster match, lackluster build, all of that shit. Oh shit, I should have fucking brought this up, Dan. I forgot. But Dan brings up a pretty good point. I'd rather Sami Zayn in the Jey Uso spot, but I do think the build for that has been good. Yeah, like mostly. Like I said, nothing to do with Jey. I think Sami for sure would have done more with it. And truthfully, man, you just swap Jimmy out with Jey, and you can still run that whole thing. Sammy's fucking zip tied to the ropes, and Jay's fucking torn open. that would get even more fucking heat because the fans like Jay more than Jimmy. I agree with you there, Dan. I didn't think about it, but I like that. I like it a lot. Faticus says, I'd like it if Tiffany wins, but Charlotte Hogan is going to take the title off of her. Ben says, I still think Becky would be better than Charlotte. Becky took Tiffy's title when she was in NXT. You could build off of that. I agree with that too. I think that's also more interesting than fucking Charlotte Flair. Like, I'm not trying to do, because everyone shits on Charlotte Flair. I don't think she's that bad. I think she's, she's earned her spot as one of the 4 horsewomen of wrestling or whatever. But I mean, Christ, like, it really is like the IWC has probably the biggest legitimate gripe with her. She shows up, feuds for the title, and leaves. It's horse shit. And she ain't fucking that interesting to do that, Like, if The Rock showed up and fought for the title and then disappeared, you kind of get it. Makes sense. But I don't know. Next up on the docket, we have LA Knight versus Jacob Fatu for the United States Championship. Fatu is electric, right? He's been one of the most interesting things about SmackDown since he showed up. I think he big time solo right away, like outside of the story. Like, they had to kind of weave that in after the War Games match, but he is every bit the big charismatic world beater that they wanted Solo to be when Solo was fucking Reigns' right-hand guy. Or left hand, I don't know. Because they're bad guys, is it left-handed? LA Knight's over still. I like him on the mic and all that shit. Stone Cold and Rock fusion be damned. I don't know. I don't know if Fatu needs the U.S. title. Kind of feels to me. So this is where I was going to throw Randy in, because it feels very much like you're going to have Solo and or Tama Tonga out there with Fatu. Maybe not initially. Fatu says, stay the fuck back here. I'm doing this. You guys are going to fuck it up for me. Solo specifically. They don't listen. They come out maybe one after another. Orton comes out to fucking even the odds a little bit. But ultimately, and I think some kind of Solo miscommunication, Fatu gets spiked. LA Knight picks up the win, keeps his belt, moves on. We give him something else to do. Then you kind of you got to do Fatu and Solo, and I think Tama Tonga sticks with Fatu. Tonga's on the older side. He's not going to be around that much longer. He might just kind of like be in the heavy. Who knows, man? Dan says Orton Solo isn't Mania worthy. I'd prefer they just put Aldis in that spot. Aldis. That would be interesting. And that's when it came out that Owens was going to have to fucking skip out on it. Yeah, that's unfortunately does seem to be the case. I know last week I talked about it maybe being a work. And I was hoping it was a fucking work. It really is all that was going on there. So, apologies for that, Kevin, if this somehow made it your way, if some asshole clipped somebody didn't. Nobody clipped anything. But I've been a wrestling fan since 2000. They pull shit like that all the time. What's up, Shannon? But yeah, Orton and Solo would be fucking terrible for the Mania card. There's no need for it. This is a better way to get Orton involved in something. It's fine. Yeah, I think it's got to be Knight either way. Fatu doesn't need the U.S. belt. I think he's got to go on to bigger and better things, like pretty soon after the Solo run. Doing fine. How are you? the rest of night one is completely inconsequential. You got Rey Mysterio versus El Grande Americano, right? Almost said El Grande Luchador. This isn't him. It's Chad Gable. Like, what the fuck is it? This is another match that's that maybe is like a B show pay-per-view match. But otherwise than that, it's TV show fodder. This is a TV show feud where, oh my God, his mask got pulled off. It's Chad Gable. Who knew? I don't care. I don't know. Like, I guess Gable should win, but it makes just as much sense for him to lose and be unmasked that way. Like if Gable wins it, he gets unmasked after the fact. The LWO corner him or some shit, or I don't know. Maybe this is where someone returns and unmasks him. I genuinely have no idea because I don't care. It's a fucking lame last minute buildup. WrestleMania matches shouldn't be fucking signed based off a feud that started 2 weeks before the fucking show. It's not a Mania match. There was no fucking reason for it. Didn't make any sense. Like, and to have Rey Fenix and Penta show up and have that be the basis for this whole luchador thing, and then the Mania match is Rey and Chad Gable. Are you fucking kidding me? Fucking sense does that make? Now, what I will say is that him being billed from Gulf of America is funny. That's okay. Good. Next, Jade Cargill versus Naomi. Interesting concepts of shit. Jade still looks like a star. They dropped the ball after the first two ass whoopings Jade put on Naomi. It's been flat. And I challenge anyone to fucking tell me otherwise. I think oddly enough, Bianca may have been. That feud would have been better served with Bianca. Bianca is much better off where she is. Jade's gonna win. It would be very Russo-esque for Naomi to come out of there with a victory. It's silly. Jade wins no matter what. It might even be a squash. I don't know. Kind of feel like the bloom's off the rose with Jade, though. I don't know how much longer you fucking stick with her. She's better than she was in AEW, but not a whole lot. They're still both bad promos, her and Naomi. Naomi is just kind of her Natalia, really. Kind of fucking mean as that might be to Naomi, because she's a good hand. That's what I mean. But and it's kind of the point, those two, is that she feels like an afterthought because of it. She's done nothing but lose since she came back, and then she was a tag champion. That was really just a means to progress the story. I think this whole thing was a lot more interesting anyway when there was some ambiguity about whether or not Bianca was involved. So, yeah, I don't know. It fizzles out. You got it's very top heavy, this Mania, I think. And it's a little bit what Dan said at the top of the show. So last night one, we got the Raw Tag Team title match. The New Day is challenging the champions, the War Raiders. And I'm going to end it all on camera shortly. Oh, pardon me. We're going to play a video quick. I have things to do. What can we play you that's fun? Something sort of long. Well, I don't want to play you the Angry Bird. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. No. Listen to this song. Why, that's not a song at all. What a moron I am. How embarrassing. We're all back now. It doesn't matter anyway. You know, if it were in the tag team title match, I don't know. I've liked New Day's heel turn when we get to see it, which is every 3 or 4 weeks, I think. I've liked the War Raiders since they've been repackaged yet again. You know, they just are bikers with a name now, which is a little cooler than look at our fur pelts or look at our fucking furry little dresses. Little pencil skirts made out of fur. And then I have a barefoot pregnant wife at home also. She likes to eat gay meat. I think War Raiders win. I would have New Day win because I like the New Day. I like this whole fucking heel thing they're doing. You know, it was interesting having them fucking kicked out of the locker room, but by Rey Mysterio. And I feel like you could have just had the War Raiders do that fucking all those months ago. Hey, whatever, you know, tag team to tag team, you guys are dickheads now. We don't want you in the locker room. We were fucking elected to tell you because we're big motherfuckers, a little bit reminiscent of the APA. You know, you don't have to do it. They don't have to be the APA, but look, we're the big motherfuckers. We've been here a while and we're telling you, go dress somewhere else. You know, and I think the way that would have happened, they wouldn't have been tag champs yet. So now you can fucking put the belts on them, and now you have fucking, oh, look at this. Just little fucking things they could have done. These guys were around. They were available. They're not fucking off shooting movies and shit. There's no reason they couldn't have fucking done that. If you planned on putting this match on the card, pay it off. Give us something. Give us a little bit to fucking chew on with it. As it stands, there's really not a whole lot to talk about. We're bad and you're good and you want our titles. I don't know. I got it all mixed up. Who cares? You know, like there's no real follow through with the Big E shit, which I guess is really what I just talked about. So, yeah, goddamn, the more I talk about this, the more of these matches don't fucking matter. Like there's a lot of who cares on this bill. It'll be a fun time. But yeah. Interesting approach this year, I guess, is all I'll say. But god damn it, that gets us to night 2. We're gonna run through this a little quicker. Yeah. So night 2, we'll start with the main event. We got Cody Rhodes defending his championship against John Cena, who came second to Jey Uso in the Rumble. I think Cody's gonna win. You know, like I don't know. I guess we'll talk about the fucking match a little bit. The little bit of build there's been. They've had a couple face-offs. I think Cody's gotten the best of them, best of him every time, or close to. You know, it's been mostly lackluster. Like I like Cena. I like the way that he hasn't really changed anything. He's just being honest now. I don't like you. I did this for me. Now you shut up. I'm glad I can get this off my chest. That's been cool. It's been an interesting thing. He didn't go fucking Doctor of Thugonomics because that would have just kind of not been the point. I like that Cody is kind of finally done fighting for his daddy. You know, now he's fighting for the people. So you kind of have John Cena versus the fucking, you know, or modern day people's champion. Wouldn't have been cool if The Rock was around more. You know, kind of have that fucking juxtaposition. The guy that bought himself a belt versus the guy that the fucking people said, he's our one. Remember, we didn't want Roman. We didn't want fucking, was there another one or two guys after Cena like that they thought about it? I don't know. We want Cody. Cody's the fucking guy for sure. We swear. Even a year later, even with this fucking boring fucking title reign you've booked for him, he's still our guy. Okay. So I think Cody should win. That's where I would go with it. I can feel them wanting to fucking kind of not erase Flair, but kind of put him, you know, just to the left of fucking Cena. Put him in second place, you know, just That's still a pretty good career, Rick. But you're really crashing out lately. We can't have this. Nope, put your penis away. We don't want to see the helicopter. We don't. Quick, come on. 1, 2, 3. That's it. Don't rotate a fourth time. Um, I guess too. I like that fucking. It does feel like they're different people, and they are kind of. I don't know, and their fucking basest desires, they are opposite, and it's a nice matchup in that way. I'm gonna lock it in. I think Cody wins. Cody's gonna win. Cena's not gonna get the belt. I don't think he does get 17. End of the day. I'm noticing a severe lack of anyone else predicting anything in the comments, and I don't like it. So I expect to see at least 8 people giving me their predictions for night 1 and night 2. There's plenty of time. I'm yapping. So yeah, but like Cena's sort of been around. Like he missed the first 2 or 3 weeks after the whole fiasco at Elimination Chamber. I don't get it. That's not right. That's not what I meant by that, you fucking morons. I don't know. Anyway, as far as I'm concerned, the next most important match from night 2 is that women's triple threat for the Women's World Championship. Yeah, the champion Io Sky defending against Bianca Belair and Rhea Ripley. Like I said, this is definitely my most anticipated match for night 2. I like all 3 girls a lot. I think they do fucking great work. Io Sky has the best wrestling theme in wrestling right now, for my money. It's just I've said it before. It's such great like Japanese kind of fucking boss fight. I don't know. It's like not big mean, but like fucking cunning and like the Empress or no, what the fuck is the Genius of the Sky thing. I dig that. I think it worked great with when like Damage Control was heel. It works fucking fine now too. I like her as champion. She's got a lot of fire. I'm not big on the Japanese gals, but Io works for me same way Asuka does. I'm not a big Kairi Sane fan. I don't know much about Julia at NXT, and that's pretty much my entire fucking knowledge of Japanese women's wrestling. But I like her. Rhea is a superstar. Bianca's a fucking superstar. But I like this fucking story. This is another one. Like a lot of people, I say this is just thrown together and gotta get Rhea on the card. Blah, blah. Yeah, like you do. She's one of their fucking biggest names. She's one of the most popular fucking people in wrestling right now. She's also fucking good at her job. It's not like she's just like hot and dumb and stupid. Like she's hot, she's talented, she's big, she's fucking, she's jacked. Bianca's jacked. Io's not jacked, but she's in shape. It works. She's good at fucking, jumping around and shit like that and keeping things interesting in that way. I mean, as far as the story goes, it's great. Rhea just trying to fucking butt her head in where she doesn't belong because she thinks she deserves it. Like there's that element of, that tweener thing. Which is cool for someone like that. That's kind of the Steve Austin effect a little bit, where the fans all like him regardless of what he does, with very few exceptions. And the fans like Rhea regardless of what she does. At least from what I see. Now Bianca also is kind of seeming to be the one that's going to turn heel. And whether it's in the match after, fucking next couple nights or whatever the fuck, it does seem like it's going that way because Like, what the fuck? Like, it's going to be that righteous kind of turn, like a Drew McIntyre thing. I won the fucking Elimination Chamber. I got my fucking title match, and now it got fucked up. You know? And yeah, she was screwing with Rhea. It's kind of like McIntyre's not innocent. You know, like there are things he did to fucking make his situation worse. It's the same kind of thing. It's easy storytelling, you know. That being said, the feud is Rhea and Bianca, which shouldn't be for the title, if that makes sense to me. Like, this is a title feud between the three of them. Only Io is aware of that. Like, they want to fucking, I want to get my chin now. Like, they're just fucking, they're going at it. They're going at each other. And she's fucking, like, you know, obviously at first it was them fucking pie facing her out of the way, knocking her on the ground and shit. You know, last week on Raw, she fucking just comes up over the rope and knocks one into the other and, you know, causes a fucking fracas that way. The story really only makes sense to me if Io gets out of there with the belt. Those two fucking bulls are not focused. They're off fucking with each other to show who's the best. They're, you know, there's fucking this whole story is working on two separate fucking levels. To me, I think honestly, even over the men's triple threat from night one, like there's so much more, I don't know, relative connective tissue. Like all of the shit with Punk, Reigns, and Rollins is kind of like you have to draw the lines a little bit. It's, oh, remember back in 2017 or whatever, 2019 when Rollins said this about Punk or whatever the fuck. You know, it's, you got to kind of draw lines into it to make it work. This story works. This was written to work. I think it's fucking great, man. I really do. Where we at? Dan says the women's triple threat could be the show stealer. I agree with that entirely, and I've told you about it at length. Nobody puts steak in a corner. Nobody. What's up, Mikey? Good to see you, man. I don't think I've seen you around here in a bit. For some, maybe the mess arounds, I think I've seen you pop in. All right, where are we going? Shannon says, go Cody. Can't wait for Cena to retire. Faticus thinks Cody wins too. Dan says it seems to make more sense. Cena wins and Cody gets it back at SummerSlam. Like I could see that because I would be very interested in seeing Cena and Punk one more time. You know, and having the belt on the line kind of continues to draw that back to fucking, you know, 2011, 2012. Faticus says, I have a feeling the rest of Cena's 25 will be chasing for 17. I kind of see that, and maybe he doesn't end up getting there. Who knows? Then Ben says he's going Cena winning and Cody getting it back in a month or two. Faticus says he thinks Naomi helps Bianca win. Bianca turns heel. That's a way. I mean, that's a way to fucking to get her fully heel, but I don't know. And then Ben says, I can see Io coming away with it and Bianca turning after the match. Mikey says Backlash will be Rhea and the EST. And Dan says Bianca should turn heel and get the belt at Mania. All very compelling arguments, my friends, and I appreciate it. We're going to move on to Braun Breaker defending the Intercontinental Championship against Penta, Finn Balor, and Dominic Mysterio. Oh God. Hold on. I gotta play this just because I don't know. We're an hour 11 in and we need it.
The faggot of the opera.
Told you. This one I think is also going to be pretty good. It's another one that has potential to steal the show, potentially. It's a strong mix of talent. They all are, you know, different types of guy. You got Braun, who's just a freak. You know, like he's fast, he's big, he's strong, he's charismatic as hell. He's money. He is money. Penta's a fucking luchador, but a kind of a power one, at least a little bit. So that to me is interesting in and of itself. So you had that to the mix. You had Finn Balor, who's a fucking veteran and who, is kind of fucking versed in just putting out bangers. And I think that's what the IC title's for. So those three there, you got that going on. Dominic Mysterio has gotten a lot better in the ring, I think. Just as like he's gotten stronger, I think, like physically. He's doing things with a little more seasoned, a little more polished, kind of fucking, a little more zhuzh, because I don't have an actual word to go there. And I also think we're getting to the point with this guy, with Dom, to where the crowds like to boo him. And we're very close to getting it to where like he's just going to be a baby face now. It's kind of funny how much he's kind of emulated Eddie Guerrero, but that does seem to me what's going to happen here. Probably by the end of the year, I think by 2026, he's a baby face. So then as far as like how this match plays out, it's whatever chaos you want to do. It'll be fun. So, I mean, I think Braun's going to win. I think that is what they will do. And that makes enough sense for me. Just kind of fucking ratchet him up another couple notches before you unleash him on the main event scene. But personally, what I would do, I think Finn Balor would win the belt. Maybe after some kind of like fucking, you hit Mexican Destroyer, I don't know, coup de grace or I don't know, fucking. You beat the shit out of Braun. He takes fucking 1, 2, 3 finishers, with the third one being Dom's frog splash. Balor fucking dumps Mysterio out of the ring, gets the fall, gets the belt, kind of gets that. Thank you for fucking what you've done, pat on the back. Here's your belt for a bit. We're going to fucking dissolve the Judgment Day legit this time. And I think that's fine. Like the Judgment Day's finally coming to a fucking head, finally coming to a close, and then you just kind of have Dom and Liv together. If you even need it, you can kind of just split them up too, like they do. They've cooled off like the relationship aspect a little bit. They did with Rhea too. I think it's interesting. I feel like that was her request though. Turned it back into more of just like a close friendship kind of thing. I don't know. Mikey says there are certain people that can walk the line, face, heel, and Punk is one of the best example. Dom is another. He's just got that personality. I could see that. Billy said that woke me up. Yeah, sorry, we're putting a wrestling stupor this week. I mean, next week we'll have to yap about it a little bit because it'll have just happened, but we won't spend too long on it next week, I don't think. But Faticus says, I think Finn cost Dom and in turn cost himself, and Penta wins and Breaker gets pushed into the main event title or main title picture. That's close. Shannon says, I don't know about Dom getting that title though. Oh, I'd be very happy for that eventually. All right. What's next, guys? All right. So this is the last one on the card that I actually did any kind of prep for. And that is the Sin City street fight between Drew McIntyre and Damian Priest. This is another one that I'm amped up for, probably more so than anybody else. Drew McIntyre's been on a heater since the fucking end of 23, right? Maybe the fall. Whenever the fuck he turned heel and started like just bashing in like Sammy and Jey Uso's brains and shit. And I guess really that's where the Punk stuff started shortly after, like after that Survivor Series. Like he's just been pretty much in a class alone. In that same kind of time frame, Damian Priest has become a guy, one of the guys. I think he's older. He's fucking he's 42. but he's got that it factor, you know. And I think, like, if you gave him a world title now, he's much more grown to fit that role. Not that I want that to happen, but I think these guys have done, top 2 or 3 work as far as, holy shit, I do kind of believe they want to beat the fucking shit out of each other. Just like there's been plenty of like eye gouging and like heads getting bashed into shit. Like the choke slam into the real glass was fabulous. Getting little shard, fucking the shards getting into Drew's eyes, a nice little touch, kind of, because all of that is just them fucking with other folks in the business. That's funny. This one's gonna be a fucking hard hitting battle. I do think this is where you have to have your blood, because again, really, this and the world title match are the only real blood feuds you've got going on. There's definitely a good chance that I'm fucking the world's biggest Damian Priest fan. I don't know if that's true, but if it is, Mr. Priest, I'd like you to come on the show. But yeah, I think, and like this is another match where there is long-term story building. Priest cashed in for the belt at Mania last year. He beat Drew McIntyre because Punk fucked him. Like, and it's all been coming to a head. And then fucking the Royal Rumble, Drew got fucked. An Elimination Chamber, Drew got fucked. There's shit, and it plays into Drew's whole character. I didn't do anything wrong, even though he did. And then Priest is just a bad motherfucker that's got to take care of it. I think Drew needs the win, and I think he gets it. The only thing is you got to make Damian look good. He's got to look like the motherfucker that he is, and lose. Like he does one fucking Puerto Rican temper fucking rares, and he tries to do one too many things, and Drew catches him. Because it doesn't have to be fucking Claymore 1, 2, 3. He got rolled up in the Elimination Chamber, and that was kind of like the final fucking thing that set Drew off. Maybe Priest gets rolled up. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe this is where you bring out like a surprise guy to fuck with that. Street fight, there's no DQ. You can kind of get away with it that way. I don't know. But I think there's 2 other matches I didn't talk about. Let's see if I can find them. Ooh, yeah. I don't know. But Ben says Drew will win, but it'll be as you described. Damian could have won if he did this, but messed up, and then Drew wins. That seems to make the most sense. I think that's a good story. Shannon says she'd like to see Priest win. Faticus says I'd love for Drew to win, but I have a feeling Priest goes over. Hope I'm wrong, but I'm not hopeful. I think you should be. I'd love to see. I wonder how wrong I'm going to be. And Faticus says this is also the only match that has a stipulation. That's why I think that like Drew needs a win. He's fucking lost every feud he's had. I do think you gotta give him his heat back a little bit. But I think it being a stipulation that does take some of the sting out of Damian Priest having to lose. Where in the butt fuck are the rest of them? Sorry, folks. I'm trying to see what's left. Oh, so women's tag team title match we talked about. I don't give a shit any more than that. We are down to the last one. And that is AJ Styles versus Logan Paul. And Faticus Finch says, I think AJ Styles and Logan Paul is going to be the best match between the 2 nights. That I don't agree with, because Logan Paul has had essentially the same fucking match for the last 2 years. Like when he broke onto the fucking scene and I don't know, whoever the fuck he was going against. Like his first couple matches, whoever the fuck they were against, I don't remember. it's not that important. Like, it really seemed, oh my God, this guy's a prodigy. He's fucking just, it's like he's, been in the training center for 3 years or whatever the fuck, the performance center. But at some point, I don't pay close enough attention to be able to give you any kind of real, timeline. He stopped improving. He hasn't gotten worse, but he's certainly not fucking getting better. Still the same kind of like fucking cheap MJF, your town sucks promos. AJ Styles, like, I don't know. What does AJ Styles have to do? AJ Styles in Karrion Kross was interesting. I don't think they've done enough with Kross to make that a Mania match either, though. I like Karrion Kross. Faticus Finch is actually a guy that got me into Karrion Kross because he just seemed like a guy that Triple H liked for no reason, and we were stuck with it. But he had me watch a couple of like those Raw, after Raw, little like .com exclusive kind of things. And there's a lot of cool shit that he's doing, his promos and what he's doing. And like someone else pointed out, just some guy on the internet, that like he does kind of mimic the people he's dealing with. Like he's fucking got the long mom hair now because he's fucking with AJ Styles. He had like the messy little man bun when he was fucking with Sami Zayn. It's like little things like that. As someone that's actually putting work and time into his character, and I think he's better off with just him and Scarlett. That fucking AOP thing never made any sense to me. The dude can talk. He doesn't need a mouthpiece. He doesn't really need the heavies. He's big enough on his own. So, like, I don't know. I don't give a shit about Logan Paul anymore. He was cool for a while. But yeah. And I don't think that that's going to be the best match between the two nights. It's going to be a fucking typical Logan Paul kind of spot fest, I guess. I don't like fucking using gay internet terms, but that's really what that is. Oh. Shannon says, whatever that is behind your head is really freaking me out. I thought we showed you these when you came over, but that is what we're doing here. Hi. Oh, God. Is that right? It seems fine. Vaticus says Karrion Kross needs to be featured a lot more in this next year. I agree wholeheartedly. There's also this one, Shannon. Eating a rat. Oh, God. And then there's this one. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, Mikey says just a bunch of jump Halo spots. I just don't care, man. Don't care about Logie. And then Dan Shine says Kross doesn't quite deliver in big matches, but he has everything else going for him. I don't know. Matches ain't the fucking, like, unless it's a truly awful match, that doesn't make, like, LA Knight doesn't deliver in big matches, doesn't deliver in medium-sized matches. Like, that's not what it's about. Most of the fucking dudes in the Attitude Area didn't deliver in fucking matches. The actual in-ring shit is like the third most important part of the whole fucking deal. I don't know, but that's the Mania card as far as I know. I don't think I've missed anything. And this is actually an interesting point too. I don't really pay close enough attention to the in-ring stuff to have like an opinion on what someone does or doesn't do for the most part. But he says, I feel like Karrion Kross hasn't gotten a real chance to showcase himself in the ring. Ooh, that's interesting. Ben says Paul wins and Karrion gets on AJ's case about it and starting their program. That's honestly the way to go. Ben's got it fucking perfect there. I like that a lot. And then AJ just gets fucking run through because he's done. Let that guy retire. Make him retire. I don't give a shit. What else is left for him to do? He's won the title. He's been, fucking on top of the heap. He's been in the middle. It's good. He's done good work, and I'm proud of him. But, yeah, I don't know. Brian's got some zombie babies, too. I think you made yours, though, didn't you? With your own DNA. But no, we got to get out of here. I'm going to answer these two little questions. We'll do this one. Dan asks, what would be your early pick to main event Mania 42? That's hard, man. I don't like doing that because I don't know. So much shit can change in a year. I would like Punk to have a genuine main event world title match. I'd also like Punk to win the Royal Rumble once, but he's an older guy. He's probably getting to the point where that's not going to happen. And he's probably much cooler just fucking, whatever you got for me. But fuck it. Cody gets the belt back. He loses it at some point this year. It's not running 2 years with it. He loses it. But I like the idea. I think Punk and Cody for the title could be good. You know what? Picking back up Punk and Reigns for that would be cool too. I don't know. We'll lock it in. I want Punk and Cody for the WWE title. The World Heavyweight title is going to be Braun Breaker. God, I don't even know. Who's someone that would be in? Like, I don't know. Do you fucking just put him with a guy like Seth or maybe Roman? I think that might be money, but then that's not the world title. You got to put Punk and fucking Cody on Raw for that world title. I don't know. That's interesting. Yeah, that ain't me. I don't have fucking like that's something that I would have to come to a conclusion to, unfortunately. But I'm sure there's plenty of shit we could fucking scoop up. Ooh, Mikey says heel Cody versus Rollins. That's I like the idea. Ooh, yeah. Faticus says Braun versus McIntyre. I like that one so much. That's a fucking great one. I'm going to go touch myself to that one when I'm done here. Billy says, I don't care for zombie babies, but I did make a Sam from Trick or Treat for a Halloween prop. Yeah, I did. I bought the old gal a Sam because she bought me a Chucky the year before. Quid pro quo, baby. Shannon says, I was late. What are the chances Jay wins? I hope it's like a 0%. I truly do. I like him fine. He's not a world champion. Not lately, anyway. But anyway, this is the last one. Then we'll get to movie of the week, and then we'll get the fuck out of here. Ben asks, what's your favorite WrestleMania? For a long time, I said it was WrestleMania 17. And it's still up there, but like, I think WrestleMania 21 is a bigger mania. It's, I just trying to like Kurt Angle and Shawn Michaels is such a killer match. That Triple H Batista match, those two never had a bad match together. Like not one that was fucking televised anyway. Cena and JBL is not great, but that's a good moment. The sumo match is a pile of shit. That the Piper's Pit was pretty cool with Steve Austin, Eugene, Carlito. The fuck else is out? Eddie and Ray to open the show. Fucking dude, the first fucking Money in the Bank ladder match, like that show is stacked. Mania 22 is another big one. 23 is another big one. Like I think 21, 20, even shit, dude. You want to that whole run from 17 to 23 is immaculate. It's probably the best, like, what's that, 6-year run? 17 is stacked. 18's got fucking, Steve Austin and Scott Hall. I thought that was the shit, but Rock and Hogan, Regal and RVD is one of my favorite matches off that card too. They had a fucking banger. I think that opened the show. Maven and Goldust for the hardcore title. That went on all night. I mean, Mania 19, you've got McMahon and Hogan, Rock versus Austin 3, Angle and Lesnar, the Triple H and Booker T, good match till they fucking the shitty ending, all that stuff. Shawn Michaels and Jericho on that one. Mania 20, the triple threat for the World Heavyweight titles, sick. Angle and Eddie Guerrero for the WWE titles, above reproach. Rock and Sock connection back in action. 20's full of great shit too, I don't know. 22 is a little lesser. Mickey James and Trish is probably good enough to still keep that streak going. I don't know. What do we got? Let me throw some fucking... Faticus Finch is 21 is his favorite. Shannon loves Eddie and Ray matches. Oh, Ben, I'll have to look those up. Totally missed that era. I think I heard you say that before. Maybe you said that earlier in the chat. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I think those are probably the ones for me, because like that was my fucking peak. When it was most age appropriate for me to like wrestling. So maybe that's part of it, but a lot of good shit on that card. 24 had some good shit too. Taker and Edge in the main event. Underrated. I don't know. That's that. And then for this week, movie of the week, we're going back to the Roy Scheider well. Oh my God, dude. Ben said he stopped watching from around the time NWO showed up in WWE until... Yeah, that's right. You were saying. I missed that, man. I'm sorry. Maybe I read it and just didn't fucking register it. And then he stopped until Shane came back. That's fucking... What is that, like 15 years? And Dan asked thoughts on John Moxley. John Moxley's the biggest dumb fuck on the planet. Every fucking instinct he has is the wrong one. I can't stand him. It's embarrassing that I thought he was like going to be the breakout member of the Shield. Oof. Fuck him. But anyway, I figure since we're fucking talking wrestling, and I did actually bring up the Attitude Era a little bit, I'm going to bring you a movie straight out of 1998. Straight out of the fucking camcorder and into your VCR. 1998's, I said that already. Evasive Action, which has been described by people as Con Air on no budget. Ben Grimm says, I never really liked Mox. I did for a while. But you didn't see him until he was fucking on his way to being no good. So... So I guess that would have been, that was the same year he fought Lesnar at Mania. Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, I mean, Dan, you're into all that deathmatch shit, so it's not that surprising that you do like him. He's a great deathmatch performer, but a wrestler he is not. But yeah, this is just like a fucking big cast of guys that, I know him. Oh, I know this guy. But it's Roy Scheider who plays like this fucking mob higher up who is in prison. He makes some calls or whatever to get put on this train to this high-tech facility. The whole thing is that his guys are going to break him out. So like all the prisoners that he gets moved in with him are, going to help assist him in that, because that's going to mean they get out as well. Unfortunately, they bring old Dorian Harwood with them, or Harewood, whatever the fuck you say it, and he's an honest criminal. They show it. It's a pretty cool scene early on that kind of shows that he's a criminal with a heart and he's there for the right reasons. But like Clint Howard's in it, Edo Ross, Don Swayze, Dick Van Patten's in there, Sam Jones, Ray Wise, Roy Scheider, as I said. Definitely one of those fucking, oh, I know who that is. I know who that is. I know who that is. Also, here's a plus. I mean, for me, there's got to be more people like me out there. I can't be the only one, but this is Con Air with no Nicolas Cage. Isn't that fucking great? You know, I don't know. It's probably not nearly as explosive, but it was surprisingly fucking interesting. I don't even think I was that high when I watched it, but maybe it'll help you folks. But link is in the description down below. It's on Prime and Tubi. So hopefully that's enough. You guys can see it. Please, in the comments below, sometime in the week, if you decide to check it out, let me know. For those of you that haven't discussed your favorite manias, let me know in the comments down below. Let me know who you think's going to win, who you want to win. What do you think has been fucking stupid about the buildup? I want traction. Please talk to me in the comments after the fact. You know, like, we're back, we're doing this because it's fun and I like it, but at the end of the day, I don't want to work a job anymore. And God, I'd really like to fucking not work a job, but do this. You know? Christ almighty, that would be cool. But whatever, man. If it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. It's still fun to be here with you guys every week. You can keep up with me on Twitter. I've been fucking posting there a lot more. You can see all the movies that I get into on Letterboxd. Those links are all down below. Brian Trash says work sucks. I know. But, well, Shannon, why don't you pop onto Peacock and watch a couple that you think sound good, and then get back to me, man. Drum up a list, man. I don't know. Thanks, all you fine feathered folks, for being here. You can catch me same time next week. God damn it, I hope I don't have anything else I'm supposed to be talking about. La, 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 la. I think we're good. We're good. Yep, that's nice. I love you guys. I love you guys. Thank you. And until next time, Iris loves you.